The Shark Deck.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. Another day and another sticking royal scandal. This one involves Kate Middleton, who was forced to apologize after a pancake challenge at a care home went very wrong. Kate Middleton was visiting the Oxford House Nursing Home, where she met residents and staff and also tried her hand at baking pancakes. The Mirror reports that Kate prodded the mixture with a spatula and eventually managed to free some of the pancake, managing to flip it over. Kate said, "Definitely don't eat that pancake. All of the ones that were made earlier are so much nicer." With that came the apology. Kate turned to one of the cooks and said, "Sorry, I really haven't done you justice." In happier news, Kate chatted with 109-year-old Nora, who told Kate her favorite food is kidney with Brussels sprouts. Clive Irving, author of The Last Queen and royal columnist of the Daily Beast, said Harry's memoir is not in any way a threat to the royal family. In fact, I think the reverse. I think the book served to cover up what is really a much deeper problem for the whole family. They're increasingly out of sync with what's going on in the country and the mood of the country, and this particularly is a problem for the king. What you see is a fairly old man. In fact, Charles at one point said no one should be monarch after the age of 70. Charles is 74. Irving said, "He's inherited this huge apparatus of the monarchy, all these palaces on the model that the Queen set for herself and couldn't be changed as long as the Queen was alive because it seemed a part of her and she was very, very popular. Charles is almost standing over the edge of the precipice, looking down to a completely unknown future for both the monarchy and the country." Author Christopher Anderson said not to underestimate the king. "I think one mistake people make is to assume that Charles is going to be a placeholder for William, that he's going to keep the throne warm, as it were. He's going to be an activist and he's going to leave his mark on history. He has waited so long for this moment. Edward VII waited 59 years, but Charles has waited 70 years. Irving was more pointed, saying, "I don't think Charles knows what he's doing. Charles is completely known, and we know every sort of detail of his background and the pluses and the minuses, and so the people will see that too. I don't think anyone in Britain at the moment even notices the existence of the king because they're too busy getting on with and dealing with their own lives, and the king isn't doing anything to make himself relevant to that." Irving, who apparently likes to give good quotes, said of the coronation, "The danger is the coronation will seem like a banquet being performed, while thousands are suffering after a severe winter and amid very high inflation. The amount of money given to run the monarchy has gone from 13 million to 86 million pounds, so there's an enormous inequity and disparity between the level of life lived by a king and ordinary citizens. Maybe someday Charlotte will have to get a job unless she decides to write a book about how she's annoyed that George will be the king." Royal expert Richard Eden of the Daily Mail said, "From what I hear, the Prince and Princess of Wales want Charlotte, aged 7, to grow up with the expectation that she will get a job and not be a full-time royal. Personally, I would prefer to see a larger royal family carrying out more official engagements and meeting more members of the public. If Charlotte is to get a job and not be an active member of the firm, she needs to be ready to step into the breach if needed." Diana's butler, Paul Burrell, is another who is not shy about giving good quotes. He told the Mirror that Queen Elizabeth shouldn't have gone to her grave thinking there was a royal racist in the family. Paul said, "And suddenly Harry says, after his grandmother's death, 'We never said that. It was the media. Who said that?' So, Harry, why don't you clear up that mess? Why didn't you settle your grandmother's mind when she was worrying in her sitting room at Windsor Castle? To not sort out that mess before she died, it's unforgivable." Remember Lady Susan Hussey? Lady Susan is the 83-year-old who quit her honorary role as Lady of the Household following a storm over her comments to Ngozi Fulani when she repeatedly asked Fulani where she was really from. Well, she's back. The godmother of Prince William was asked to step in on behalf of Princess Anne at the Dame Frances Campbell Preston on Tuesday at the Royal Hospital in Chelsea. A family friend said, "Lady Susan was formally asked to represent Princess Royal at the service. She was more than happy to do so. Her official position was recorded in the order of service. It's great to see her back in the royal fold." And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, or if YouTube is more your thing, you can follow us there. Just search for Palace Intrigue. and the page should show up. There's no video there, but if YouTube is your platform of choice, please subscribe to us there. My thanks to John McDermott. I'm Mark Francis. This is Balance Intrigue, and good times.
I'm Alyssa McKay, star of the new podcast, The Royals of Malibu. I play Ella, a sex worker just trying to survive when I get swept away to the wealth and the drama of Malibu.
You know, you can like something without touching it.
You've made the biggest mistake of your life, Ella Sinclair.
You are a total psycho!
Will Ella find a happily ever after ending? Or will these rich kids destroy her? Fall in love with The Royals of Malibu on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts.